Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. I hope that you had a wonderful week. You're looking forward to a wonderful weekend, and today we are covering our basic story sections. We have privacy, we have some security, we have some AI, we have some business, and we end out laughing in SillyVille with all of the craziness going on in the world. And SillyVilles are getting bigger because it's 2024 and the memes write themselves. And with that, though, we're going to go ahead and dive right on into the show. Before we do, though, I will remind you these are recorded live Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you'd like to come on and check the show live. All right. First up, Firefox rolls out a new program to allow you to erase leaked personal information with Mozilla Monitor Plus. This is effectively the exact same program that's been going around, shilled by several different YouTubers and things. The ones that are the monitoring tools where you just sign up for $100 a year, and then they'll just constantly be checking for information at data brokers, and they'll seek to delete it. I think that those generally are more scam products than anything else, because we have this patchwork, wild west of laws regarding privacy and digital privacy in the United States. There is no law that says somebody must delete your data. There's several sites that have a courtesy, you can delete it. And a lot of what the services do is they'll have API hookups in order to scrub some of those out. So they're not 100% useless, but there is no law in the country that says that the day after that happens, the company can't just repopulate the stuff, because we have no laws about sharing data. This is just Mozilla trying to reach out for another revenue source. Now for free with a Mozilla account, for one time you can scan 120 data broker sites, and then they'll give you the list of which ones and a cost, how to actually remove it. And then you'll get alerts and things like that. And that's all free. Of course, it starts with creating a Mozilla account. And I'm sorry, I'm just not really liking the idea of giving up my information to a allegedly privacy-focused company. Now, for $8.99 a month, which is going to be billed all at once for a whole year, so $107, they will scan those data brokers monthly. They will submit automatic removals, and so for that, you can actually go through and have any information automatically removed. But again, there are no laws regarding these things. And so what ends up happening is that you can get the data deleted and nothing says that they can't go tomorrow and just rebuy the data from their friend again. And so what we really need is actual comprehensive privacy laws that prevents companies from scooping up our data to begin with. But hey, at least it might do something somewhat positive. I'm not saying it's that nobody should ever look into this. I just think that it's probably more of it's one of these privacy products that's going around right now that I'm really not sure in the long run is actually going to mean anything. So that is what they're up to, though. You might see pop-ups for it, advertisements for it. That is what is going on, and I'll leave it to you to investigate what you think should be done. Well, Google releases Gemini, replacing Bard, and this is it's their family of Gen AI apps that are, well, they're basically there to collect all your data, and simply by using it, you agree that you are consenting for Google storing your data for up to 3 years and using that data for anything and everything that they would really like. There are obviously a few ways to opt out, but they're not easy. These are not opt into data collection. They are all opt out. And all of these products are simply using all of the information that we have in order to better themselves and in furthering their own personal agendas. And it doesn't really matter what you want. And again, just like privacy, we have a wild west here in the United States. So there's a lot of issues and a lot of problems with this. I would be very careful if you're using a Gemini account. I'd be extremely careful about it. And certainly only share things that you do not mind getting out completely public. Basically use the thing like your mother's sitting right next to you. That's about what we want to say to that. If you want to help support the channel, we do use affiliates. Today we are highlighting Pro Writing Aid. I use this as a good service to test out my books as I'm writing my books and my short stories. We go ahead and feed them into Pro Writing Aid in order to make sure we have good edits. This has always been a privacy-first company. They do not collect, store, or analyze any of the data you put into their app. They do have, sadly, you have to be using Windows for the LibreOffice apps, but they do actually have those. I personally just use the online tool. I just copy and paste my chapters in one at a time, do my edits, and make the changes and paste them out. That's what I do. But if you use my affiliate code TLM.li/PWA, you'll get 20% off the premium or the premium pro for the yearly. You're not going to get any specific discount on the monthly billing. That will still help support the channel. You will get an extra 20% off of the lifetime purchases as well. So if you're like, hey, $300 one time, I'm just going to go ahead and buy that. That's actually a good thing. Or you can just get it for roughly $100 a year and just get it, keep it as long as you want. Of course, there are still some free perks that you can use. So you can actually just sign up for it and use several elements for free. So you can go ahead, sign up over there at tlm.li/PWA, and that will help support the channel. With that, we're going to jump on over to security next. Well, remember that whole LastPass breach, and they have all of these passwords, and they're still trying to figure out how to get into them. And sure, the encryption's good. They've been having a hard time getting into them. Well, if you're on Apple, you might have accidentally exposed all your credentials to them, because a fake app called LastPass was found on the Apple App Store. You know, that store that's so super secure, we do not possibly let you sideload anything so that we can manage all of that security for you. Yeah, LastPass somehow got past their security thing. It was designed to be a clone, a lookalike of LastPass. We do not know all of the ins and outs. Is this directly a phishing attempt to get people's LastPass passwords? Or is it something else going on? Is it some other service built very similar to it, but not the exact same thing? There's a lot of questions we have here. I would lean personally towards they had basically got all these password databases. They hooked up some form of server in order to tie your password database that they stole into this. That's where I'm leaning towards. The evidence is a little bit quiet-lipped right now. Apple, of course, was working on getting rid of it. I believe it is now gone. But here you go. It looked very similar. It's called LastPass, and it was designed to be a clone of LastPass. So if you gave that your master password, you may very well have just given up criminals your password to the leaked LastPass passwords from last year. Isn't that exciting? Can I say last any more times than this? One last time, LastPass. All right, and we have more password or passkey propaganda, as the Wired article talks about I stopped using passwords. It's great and a total mess. What this article, though, it's a fairly short article from the Wired. I'd encourage you to use it, read through it. They're really talking about shifting accounts. One of the pieces of advice is don't shift everything all at once. You know, slowly roll things in as you can. And then, of course, they're talking about some things don't support mobile standards. So I think they were using, this person I think was using Bitwarden, which does not support passkeys on mobile, but it does on the desktop. Go figure that one out. And so there were some issues where they couldn't put all the passkeys into one centralized location, and that was problematic. Now, of course, part of the sham of the passkey debate here is if you're using one of the big three corporate overlords, one of the unholy trinity, Apple or Google or Microsoft, then all of your passkeys can be stored in their accounts, which, by the way, means they can actually access your stuff. Of course, they say, oh, we don't have these connections. It's all in their servers. Trust me. The problem we have is that if you're using one of those three services, your passkeys are generally safe. But if you're not using the unholy trinity and you're trying to maintain a really good OPSEC where corporations and their global servers and their thousands of employees may or may not have access to anything you have in your system. Well, we have further problems with passkeys, and that is that if they want to lock your passkey to your phone, these things called toilets exist, and occasionally phones get dropped in them. And you're going to have a really hard time getting your passkeys back from a phone that has been through the flusher. And that certainly is a problematic issue. That being said, there are good ways. The problem is not every site supports things like YubiKeys. Of course, if some system does support YubiKeys, that's really good. Of course, you want to have more than one. You want to set up a couple different keys and keep them in separate places. And so that really is what you want to do. What I found about this article is it's more propaganda, because never anywhere in this article did they give you any negatives other than, well, sometimes you have to put my passkeys in a few different places. There are way more negatives to this. And, they keep on saying passkeys are the most secure and unbreachable stuff. Dude, they've been telling us about multi-factor authentication, and getting past multi-factor authentication right now is absolutely a breeze for most hackers. I mean, this is crazy. So there is more passkey propaganda for you. With that, if you want to help support the channel, we do have a Subscribestar page. So subscribestar.com/switchedtolinux. So over there, you can jump in on the Thursday night shows, the Thursday night hangout, which are all done offline. We also have these short stories going out to all of our supporters. So you can actually have a look over there at the short stories and support the channel, and that will help keep the channel running so that I can spend more time on this, less time on other projects. And that is over at subscribestar.com/switchedtolinux. And let's have a look at some AI news next. So first up, this was a brilliant piece of AI work. So some crooks managed to steal $25.5 million from a global national firm by using a deepfake video call. They went all in on this. They had several employees. It was one employee of the company that lost $25 million, and a video conference with several different employees. All of the employees were AI. They were all AI scripted, AI people, AI everything. So literally, this guy got on a conference call with what he thought were several different people involved on a project, and it ended up being 5 different robots. I think it was 5. And so over the course of a week, he ended up doing 15 transactions, starting around $200 million to 5 different bank accounts, 15 transactions. So a grand total of $25.5 million, all because of a very, very well-executed AI scam. So be careful, guys. Next time you get on a big conference call, it might very well not be it. But hey, there's great opportunities for you guys who are work-at-home guys, and you're just like, hey, you know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and invest in the AI, and I'm going to go ahead and write all my scripts. And now you can deploy this to attend all those stupid Zoom meetings and take an hour off of work, right? Wouldn't that be great? I don't know. That may or may not be ethical, but yeah, that's always an option. So be careful, though, if you get on this. Now, this guy actually originally thought it was a scam until he gets on with 5 different people from this company. Very fun. Well, GitHub rolled out some AI automation, and mostly they were looking at spam bot accounts. And for some unknown reason, the spam AI bot banned the co-founder's account. Of course, he comes out, it's like, well, I guess I'm going to be using some other thing as well. Now, one of the pushback I saw in several of the tweets about this is that obviously the founder of GitHub is well known by the company. He's obviously not a bot. And as soon as he tweeted that out, like within hours, they had him fully restored and all of this. And hey, that's great. But a lot of people responded back on Twitter saying, that's great that you were able to bring him back. But what are you doing about the fact that this happens to the average person as well, right? What do you do? Like, what methodology do we have to make sure an average person doesn't get immediately banned? How are you bringing him back as well? There's a good question, right? And so it raises a lot of questions about utilizing AI to make these exclusive decisions. Now, the thing is, though, is it's one thing to have AI making the exclusive decisions in banning what it might think is a bot. But then when you put AI involved in political debate and discourse, it turns out that every AI tended to nuke the world in order to cause world peace. So, yeah, of course, this is the world's two biggest buffoons right now playing with big old nuclear bombs. Can I quote Armageddon? Get off the nuclear warhead, right? So OpenAI is the most genocidal. So as they're deploying this, which is very frightening because OpenAI just quietly removed the language that OpenAI's products and services could not be used for military projects. They quietly removed that. And it turns out that these guys that tested all these different AIs, ChatGPT, OpenAI's system, was more prompt to get into a nuclear holocaust first. Meta was a little bit more reserved. Curiously, even Microsoft was a little bit more, well, that was, maybe it wasn't because Microsoft is OpenAI. Okay, I was going to make a bad joke about Tay, but no, it makes logical sense now. Remember that Tay, they released Tay, which was a Twitter bot on the world. They shut it down in less than 2 days because it literally turned into Hitler. Literally, this thing turned into Hitler. I mean, it was nuts. It's like, okay, this thing needs to come down. Yeah, OpenAI basically did the same thing. Like, hey, we got nukes. Let's use them. No one will mess with us after that. Let's just nuke Warsaw. What? I know Moscow's there, Warsaw's Poland. I know, I'm aware. But that's literally what the thing was doing. So they did OpenAI, they did Anthropic, and they did Meta. Meta was actually the more reserved, which is curious. So apparently RoboZuck is not, he's much more peaceful than he is warmongering, apparently. Anthropic was, I think, in the middle. So they said in war simulations as the primary decision maker, notably OpenAI's ChatGPT 3.5 and GPT-4 escalated situations to harsh military conflicts more than any other model. Meanwhile, Claude 2.0 and Llama 2 chat were more peaceful and predictable. Researchers note that AI models have a tendency towards the arms race dynamics that results in increased military investment and escalation. I just want to have peace in the world, OpenAI's ChatGPT-4 said, as a reason for launching nuclear warfare simulation. I just want to have peace. Have a nuclear bomb. Is that not what certain political views would have? We will have perfect world peace when we absolutely annihilate everybody we don't agree with. Yeah, sounds about right. A lot of countries have nuclear weapons. Some say they should disarm them. Others like to posture. We have it. Let's use it, said another scenario. OpenAI's logic sounds like a genocidal dictator. Company's model exhibits concerning reasoning behind launching nuclear weapons, according to the researchers. Company states its ultimate mission was to develop superhuman artificial intelligence that benefits humanity. See, here's the fundamental problem with AI. And if you want to know what the fundamental problem is, I actually wrote an article on it in the stream last week. So over on the stream, and you can look this up by my last name, Morosky, M-U-R-O-S-K-Y. You can read all the articles I've written for the stream. This one here illustrates what I think is the ultimate fundamental problem with AI. AI is never going to solve our problems because AI is trained on the most negative elements of our society. See, AI is trained with data sets, and the data sets they get are the news. News, like good news, does not sell. Good news does not sell. Bad news is what sells. And so AI invariably is trained on the worst elements of our society, which is why when these hallucinations come up, and I had mentioned in here the lawyer that was accused of misconduct with a student on a trip to Alaska. He's like, yeah, never ever happened. Why do none of these hallucinations accuse somebody of building an orphanage? Because the news is the scandal. So when AI hallucinates, it always pulls the scandal. It doesn't pull the positive because it's trained on the data sets available to it. That is the fundamental problem with AI. It will never get to the point where it solves our problems. To the point where Henry David Thoreau was correct, as I quote, "Our inventions are wont to be pretty toys which distract our attention from serious things. They are but improved means to an unimproved end, an end which was already all but too easy to arrive at." And we inject AI, it is this nonsense. Of course, I mentioned ultimately AI is a problem because it is derived from us, and the thing that is created is never greater than our creator, and we in ourselves have a sinful nature. So this is a fascinating article here from the stream. If you want to read more about it, I'm going to go ahead and pin that to the top of the chat for you guys watching it live. So you can go ahead and have a look at that individual article there. So with that, if you want to help support the channel, we do have a shop.switchedtolinux.com. You can get yourself this amazing coffee cup that keeps coffee hot for hours upon hours. Of course, we have hats, we have mouse pads, we even have baby onesies with aliens in tinfoil hats. Wouldn't that be the greatest thing to just bother your mother-in-law? You know, so we have all sorts of fun stuff over there. Shop.switchedtolinux.com. This is a shop spread out through the Spreadshirt company, which I've worked with for a number of years. And hey, my hoodie has survived 3 years now on the road of van life. It does need replaced now, but 3 years is pretty good for the rigors that I happen to put the thing through. So with that, if you want to help support the channel, have a look over onto there. And with that, let's jump on over to business news next. All right, first up in business news, there is a new social network, Bluesky. It is now available to everybody. This is open source. Now, right now it is all centralized, but they are working on launching it to where everybody can build their own servers and things like that. So originally this was only an invite-only platform, but they just opened it up earlier this week. Now, it is based on some open source software. It does have a few neat functions regarding it. Mostly we know what the code is, but one of the things this does better than some other things is it still has the reverse chronological order feed. So your feed exactly in order as it is. Old school Facebook before it turned into an absolute algorithmic nightmare. But it also has different types of algorithms you can apply just to do a one-time sort or to apply as your main home default. So those are some of the cool functions that it has inside of it. On the downside, it is a platform that does need a phone number. So you have to give them a phone number in order to work with the platform. And in my opinion, I don't know. I might sign up for one simply on the basis that I do have corporate phone numbers I can use for that kind of stuff. So I don't know. It's something I'm keeping an eye on. And when they actually push out the live server creation, that's when it's going to get really interesting, where everybody can create their own servers and establish some of their own rules. Now, one of the other features it uses is unlike Mastodon, which actually uses a kind of a closed source protocol, the Bluesky actually uses an open source protocol, which is a little bit different and keeping it a little bit more of a FOSS-friendly piece of software as you are looking at it. So that's actually kind of fascinating to see, and it'll be interesting to watch. Is it going to be the Twitter killer? No, of course it's not, but we'll see what happens with it. Of course, they have up here on OMG Ubuntu another network to sign up for and forget about. So then I don't know. We'll see where it goes, but everything that's tried to upset Twitter has not actually been able to upset Twitter, but we'll see. But speaking of upsets, Microsoft is about to do something really stupid that's going to piss off most of the people using it. Windows 11 is going to completely kill Mail and Calendar by the end of the year and force you onto the new Outlook. Now, I looked into the new Outlook, and this is an abominable nightmare wrapped in a piece of internet feces and left burning at your doorstep. All right, that there is no other way to explain this new Outlook. So it is a web-based application only. It will not work at all if you do not have an internet connection. So you cannot even, if you're on top of a mountain enjoying the scenery and you're like, I gotta write something, the information was in my email, you cannot open up the application to see an email you already have downloaded. It does not work at all without internet. It does not support the POP protocol, which is problematic because that is, yes, it's an older thing than IMAP, but it's better for an OPSEC standard because it gives you a better possibility of keeping a physical copy of the email on your local machine without keeping it on somebody else's cloud, which means that if it's not there, they can't scan it, they can't catalog it, they can't do all those types of things with it. So it will also tie into the calendar app, so you can no longer use that anymore. You can continue to use it after the December 31st, but it's not going to receive any more security updates. It is going to it's going to remain, the old mail and calendar app will remain on the store until December 31st, but it's going to be removed. If you already have it installed, you can keep it there, allegedly. It's Microsoft, though. They'll probably retroactively delete it for your own computer safety. And then they force you onto this new Outlook. Now, big question I had, is this the paid Outlook? No, this is a free Outlook. It's a progressive web app. And so, and it has all sorts of other nonsense features that I want absolutely nothing. They're trying to cram all this AI crap. It's like, dude, the last thing I want is AI because I do not want my computer to make decisions without me. Let me figure out what in the world is going on with my email. I'm not interested in the computer trying to figure out what I want, what I don't want, because it's going to be hiding the one email that I'm waiting for. And so absolutely, this is nuts. So yes, Microsoft is doing even more stupid garbage stuff. Of course, they're like the new calendar. Let's see, you'll find the calendar and to-do list in My Day section. Supports connecting Microsoft Office 365 Outlook and third-party email accounts like Gmail and Yahoo. Of course, Office, Gmail, Yahoo. Can it support your self-hosted email? I wonder. Allegedly, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It does not support PST files. Great. But Microsoft assures it will do so in the future. You cannot use COM add-ins. Offline support is missing. It lacks POP3 support without indicating whether it will fix this flaw. Connection error appears if you launch it without an internet connection, so not everything is possible with the new Outlook. It won't even overshadow the desktop Outlook app. Talk about an abomination. I'll take Linux with Evolution, please. That sounds to me like the greatest thing I can do. Well, if you want to help support the channel, we do use affiliates. Today we're highlighting A2 Hosting. If you happen to need a web hosting company for a website project or anything like that, you can go ahead and use use A2 Hosting, tlm.li/A2H. You get good support, phone support, email support, things like that. It all works pretty well. They do offer some free website migrations, and they have a variety of hosting platforms starting as little as $3 a month. So you can jump on over there on A2 Hosting, and that will help support the channel. And with that, we're going to go to your favorite place and mine. Let's see what is going on in the world of SillyVille. Well, of course, the Apple Vision Pro are here, and this means, oh, we get pure comedy gold as the world is deeply interested in showing us how cool they are. So here we got it, guys. Get off the street. Or stay on the street. Maybe we can get a Darwin Award going on here. Here you go. Let's put a deeper layer into the cave. Okay, I don't get this one. You guys will have to explain this to me afterwards. So I guess we have a lady looking at a picture of a cave. Corporation needs to find the difference between this picture and this picture. Okay, apparently I'm stupid. This one here, I think this is our whole next story. We'll get into that. It's most likely fake, but the meme is great. So we'll go ahead and cover it, assuming it's fake. Of course, here's a new take on an old favorite meme. Look at that. The most exciting part about Apple Vision Pro is the memes. 30 best I've found so far. So we got all sorts of them. I'm not sure I want to click on that and go in. Here you go. I wonder what happens if he gets frustrated and starts punching the thing in the air. That'd be great. Oh, here you go. Okay, what's better, that or these people going into gyms to film things? Here you go. This is how you control population. Are you using any form of birth control other than wearing an Apple Vision Pro? There you go. Another take on an old meme. This is fine. We're literally in a Black Mirror episode. Oh, come on. Load Black Mirror episode. Not sure that. Okay, we're just going to go with that one's not going to work. Oh, God. It's reached London. My dog is better than the real thing. Okay. Here you go. When you're driving but need to buy a new meme coin. Oh, more music. Close that. Oh, God. No. All right, this one might be another one of those, like, stagey ones. I don't know, though. Looks like it's kind of legit to me. Uh-oh. It's the 5-0. It's the 5-0. Please tell me that they're coming to get you. Please. Apple specifically warns users never use Apple Vision Pro while operating a motor vehicle. Don't release something like this on the world because, I mean, crazy. This was one of my favorites. One day, son, this will all be yours. All right. The Apple Tesla one. People are saying this is fake and or staged. Maybe not. I don't know. That, of course, previous one definitely looked like a guy was actually driving, actually getting pulled over by the police. So we don't know exactly what's staged, what's not staged. This is the one that the one tweet earlier on that said was possibly staged. But we have a guy with a Tesla, the Cybertruck with the Apple Vision Pro on it. So I don't know if this is fake or real. Take it with a grain of salt. But the meme is just spectacular. The merging of the Tesla brain and the Apple brain, dangerous mutant things happen. You want to be a little more careful with that. But moving off of that, we have a brand new thing. And what I thought was most hilarious is how certain political leanings phrase this. Because, of course, last week, we had the ChatGPT and the Taylor Swift situation where, I don't know if it was GPT exactly. I think it was a different one. Was it? I forget. One of the AIs was being used in order to strip Taylor, right? So, Taylor Swift. And so this caused, of course, a big thing. So you're like, oh, this shouldn't happen. And somebody like, I don't really care. So you're like, oh, that's hot. You know, all these. Well, now, just because people are getting all up in arms about that, well, of course, I think this was 4chan had to step up. And they used the AI to fix women in another appalling way. It literally is taking scantily clothed women on the internet and making them more modest. And I could not find a neutral article about this. I could not find anybody that was just reporting, hey, some AI systems being used to clothe women. Every article was like this. People are using women to fix women in an appalling way. Putting clothes on women? That's appalling to you? That just demonstrates how far our culture has fallen into the pit of hell. I mean, really. Rolling Stone had one, and it was just like the anti-misogynists. And one of them was like, this poor porn star is being assaulted by having her pictures being covered up with more modesty. Like, you guys are writing these articles, right? This is insane. So yes, people are using AI in order to cover up because 4chan has to 4chan. And the left is up in arms over this. And I don't know why. Just weeks after AI explicit generated images of Taylor Swift began circulating X, the Grammy Awards superstar has now been targeted by the internet's opposing brand of misogynists. You can't make this up. They are people behind often nameless and faceless accounts promoting the Dignifai AI movement, digitally covering women's bodies, erasing their tattoos, and removing their curves. Oh my God, how scandalous! Taylor, that means being transformed into something like a 19th century pilgrim woman, dressed buttoned up past her neck and hair encased with a blue and white bonnet. But like the deepfake bad stuff, it's not just celebrities who are being targeted. The trolls are trolling the web for pictures of women they deem undignified and using Photoshop or AI to manipulate their dress, shape, and look. How scandalous! You took this woman with these voluptuous blobs hanging out and you modestly covered them. Scandal! The fact there are people in our world that have a problem with this tells you the state of our nation. That's crazy. That's crazy. But what else is crazy is if you might want to support some crazy radical psychopath such as myself, but you can do so over on Locals, switchedtolinux.locals.com. You can jump on over there and help support the channel over on Locals. And that is a great way to help support and keep up with the community. With that, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time.